We will begin by talking about the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants. Now, 49ers are completely decimated on defense, completely decimated on offense as well, whereas the Giants also lost a good bit of their offense with Saquon Barkley going down, Sterling Shepard on IR with turf toe. So this is going to be a bit of a banged up game between both of these teams. 49ers have lost a lot of pieces on defense. It's looking like Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to play this week. Raheem Mostert's most likely out. Tevin Coleman is already ruled out. George Kittle is still up in the air. So a lot of big name players that you drafted, and they're not going to be here in this game. Obviously, Saquon Barkley done for the season. So going to be interesting to try to analyze this going forward. The 49ers defense had been pretty decent up to this point, stopping the run, stopping the tight ends. Not that they faced any notable tight ends up to this point. Dan Arnold in week 1 and last week, Chris Herndon blocked for like 99% of his work. So, haven't really seen yet whether that's something that's going to continue. I don't think that's going to really weigh too much on how I feel about Evan Engram this week. 49ers 10th in points allowed for the receiver. So a little bit more points going there, but a lot of that came from DeAndre Hopkins in week 1. So yeah, in terms of what we expect from this game, I think the 49ers can still control this one pretty well, even with the injuries that they've sustained, but it's, a low over under 41.5. We've got the 49ers winning by 4 according to the Vegas spread. So that gives us roughly 23-19. Very low over under in this one. Not going to be a lot of fantasy options. So in terms of who we would start, we'll begin with the 49ers. Jerick McKinnon is a wonderful play this week. Most likely going to be missing both Mostert and Tevin Coleman. I know Tevin Coleman's already rolled out. Mostert is pretty much out. Like we're just waiting for the official confirmation, but I would not bet that they would throw Mostert back out there, especially on the same field that he got hurt on. They were complaining about the turf last week. So Jerick McKinnon is a fantastic play. He has looked great up to this point. My biggest fear with him is the fact that Jeff Wilson will probably steal some goal line carries, but I think Jerick McKinnon definitely has the opportunity to do similar to what Raheem Mostert has been doing and just break free on some long runs. He should be involved in the passing game, and he's one of the few playmakers that they have at this point. So Jerick McKinnon should be started, especially in PPR and half PPR formats. Now, on the tight end department, Jordan Reed remains a really good play. The Giants not the greatest against the tight end, but if Kittle plays, then I don't think you can play Reed. Obviously, if they feel comfortable enough putting Kittle back out there on this field, they must feel pretty good in his health. So monitor the practice situation. Kittle has not practiced all week. We haven't really heard yet, but they did rule Kittle out pretty early last week when they did rule him out. So hopefully we'll find out pretty early on if Kittle is going to play or not. So I'll play the guy that's healthy. If Kittle is there, I'm playing him. If Kittle is out, I'll play Reed. And of course, 49ers defense, pretty good play this week against a decimated Giants team. Jeff Wilson, as I mentioned, is probably going to be someone that will steal a few goal line carries, but I don't think he's going to get enough work to really be worth it. And then we're not going to be starting Nick Mullins or Brandon Ayuk or Kendrick Bourne until we kind of know what this team looks like. Nick Mullins was able to support George Kittle a few years ago, but never really had a dominant receiver there. So until Deebo Samuel comes back, this is just kind of a mess of a situation for the 49ers. On the Giants side, pretty easy for me. Darius Slayton is the lone beneficiary here of Sterling Shepard going out. Darius Slayton, in all of his games that he performed really well, it was on the on behalf of either Golden Tate or Evan Engram or Sterling Shepard being hurt. Well, now both Saquon Barkley and Sterling Shepard are gone, so Darius Slayton is going to see a lot more looks, and that is typically a recipe for success there. We already know that the 49ers are capable of giving up a decent amount of points to the receivers. Obviously, we also have Richard Sherman on IR. This team is just beat up. So if the Giants are going to score any points, it's probably going to be done through Slayton and Evan Engram. Now, Golden Tate, maybe you can convince me to start him, but I didn't see a lot from him last week that got me too excited. So if I'm going to play guys in this game with a low over-under, I'm going to play ones that have the potential to have a really good week in scoring touchdowns, and I think Slayton and Engram are the only guys that really give that to you. Dion Lewis is interesting, but I probably would try to find a better option if you're up against it. I think Dion Lewis is an okay play, could have 5 or 6 receptions this week, but We don't know what Devonta Freeman's role is going to be. Maybe they'll use Wayne Gallman a little bit. Probably going to try to avoid this running back situation for a while. Daniel Jones, not someone we want to start against the 49ers in a low over-under on this week. Even if the Giants win, most likely it's not going to be because they scored a lot of points. So I'm going to try to be avoiding the majority of the options here. We have the 49ers still winning this one pretty handily. The Giants just have not looked good or cohesive as a whole. Their offensive line has been terrible. Daniel Jones have been playing okay, but kind of hard to throw behind that offensive line. Losing Saquon Barkley really deflates a lot of the gas in this offense. So we have the 49ers beating the Giants by 10 in this one, 24-14.